All right, welcome everybody to the weekly Integrative Marketing Webinar. We are continuing our series today all about target marketing, and we're going to get a little bit more advanced. I think we decided the first week, 2 weeks ago, was Target Marketing 101. Last week, I think we decided it was like Target Marketing 301. And so this week, I don't know, let's just go with 701 or whatever you want to call it. We're going to be diving in talking about custom audiences using your customer list, and then also creating lookalike audiences. It's absolutely incredible, the technology that Facebook has developed, and somewhat creepy at the same time, to be able to target your perfect customer. Because for one, you can take your customer list. So these are people that have already paid you. You can upload that into Facebook and tell Facebook, I want to target these people based on their email address. And then the kind of weird, the crazy part is that then you can take it a step further and say, okay, I have this lump of people. I want to find more people just like that. And Facebook will match up the characteristics and give you 2.1 million people that are similar to your most profitable customers. So let's dive in. Let me share my screen. And if you have any questions, type in the chat over there. Share screen. All right, can you see my screen there? Type in the chat if you can see my screen. Okay. We're in Ads Manager. Quick review of how to get to audiences. So you're in Ads Manager, you come up here to the top left, click here, you go to audiences. This is, audiences is a good tab to know about in Facebook Ads Manager. This is where you create all your audiences and where you keep them stored to really know what it is that you have. All right, so here's your audiences tab. And again, a few weeks ago, we started out by creating a saved audience. This is where you create an audience based on interests, behaviors, demographics, stuff that people put in that people tell Facebook pretty much that you want to target. And then the third-party data that Facebook collects. And then then last week we talked about custom audiences. We talked about creating a video view audience. And those are people, again, this is the best way to start. You start with making a video, you get a lot of people to watch it, and then you retarget some of those people that watched your video. So that's on this engagement tab. Video, and then we also talked about Facebook page engagements, retargeting those people. Now this week we're going to go to customer list. This really is for people that are kind of an established business. They have to have customers, they have to have some sort of list. I've heard people of doing this before. The thing you're not going to want to do with this is buy a list of people and then upload those as a list, because those typically aren't going to be as high quality. So the best people to upload are people that are paying customers and have paid and are ongoing paid. If your business is a ongoing business, then your best bet is to import people that pay ongoing. So like an insurance agency, we just set this up recently. We have a list of inactive customers and a list of customers. We separate those out and we say these are our active customers, and we upload those ones. And that's going to be your best quality audience, because the effectiveness of the lookalike audiences, which is what we're going to talk about second, the effectiveness of that is going to be based on the quality of the first list you upload. So again, customers, paying customers. If you have a list with lifetime value of each customer, then you can upload that. That's an extra feature. Not a lot of people have a list with the lifetime value of their customer listed. So here's how we dive in. Hit this create audience. You hit custom audience. And then we're going to go to customer file. So we have a couple options here. You have add customers from your own file or copy and paste the data. You have import from MailChimp. MailChimp is an email service provider. So if you happen to use MailChimp, then you can do that. And then this is include lifetime value for better performing lookalikes. Again, that's if you happen to have a file that has the name of the person, and then in the next column, their email address, and the next column, their phone number, and then the next column is their lifetime value, meaning how much they've paid you over the life of their time being a customer, then that's the best file you're going to want to upload. But again, my guess is that if you're watching this, you probably don't have that. So we're going to go to add customers from your own file or copy and paste data. Now this is surprisingly easy. It's a really advanced strategy, but it's really easy to implement. So add a new file, CSV or TXT. If you have that type of file, you're going to hit that upload. If you want to copy and paste the data, you're going to hit this bubble and copy and paste the data. Now up here, we have a bunch of, they call them identifiers you can use. So this is the type of information that you'll be able to import into Facebook. This does not mean you don't have to have all 15 of these things about your customer. You only have to have one. Now, if the only one you have is first name, I don't think it's going to work because lots of people have the same first name. Like my name is Mitch. How many people in the world have the same first name of Mitch? If we could do a quick search on Facebook if we wanted, just type in Mitch and see how many options come up. So you're going to want to have at least something that's unique to each person. So email or phone number. Those are the two that really get very unique to each person. So add a new file. That's what we're going to do today. Upload file. The more of that information that you have, the better. So I just have this CSV file on, it was saved to my computer. I'm just uploading it right here. And then I'm going to name it whatever you want. Make sure you know, like, so if this is active customers, make sure you name it active customers. If it's inactive customers, make sure you name it. I also like to put a date. So, you know, today's date is 2/15. So if this is going to be an ever evolving list, then we might want to say active customers, February 15th. And then in a month down the line, we might want to re-upload because maybe we're get to a point where we have, maybe we started with 1,000, maybe by the end of next month we have 1,200. And so you upload that new list at March 15th. So put the date on there. And you just hit next. As we're going through this, and especially in these times of pause, be thinking about how can you implement this in your business? Think about the power of this. So now we are going to want to match up these columns. So preview and map your identifier. So it's really nice when your document has a header column. So this says email. So we know that this column is email. So we just drop down. It was already selected, but hit that email. Name. We are going to, if we don't do full name. So we're going to map this as first name. We'll see if it'll let us, even though it is last name. Message number, so this is one that doesn't work. So what we're going to do is we're going to do not upload. This is just another piece of information that doesn't matter to Facebook, but it is in our document. And this is another one, date added, doesn't matter to Facebook, but it's in our file, do not upload. Last follow-up date also doesn't matter, do not upload. Bunch of these are do not upload. All of these, in fact, are do not upload. So our file had a lot of extra information, but as you can see, it doesn't matter if your file, you don't have to go through and sort your file and get it down to only these things. You can just import it, and if it's some information that isn't necessary to Facebook or that Facebook can't take, then you just say do not upload. Then we're going to hit upload and create. And it tells you right here, 195 rows uploaded. And so that's a pretty good size audience. I will tell you, however, that size audience to target by itself is going to be a little bit small. So let's talk about a few ways that you can use this. So let's say that I am in a retail business. I'm in a local business here in Albuquerque. Albuquerque is where I live, so I'm a local business here in Albuquerque. I've been in business for 10 years, but I'm just barely getting started on Facebook. And throughout those 10 years, then I've collected email lists of, I've collected email addresses and names and phone numbers of 5,000 people. So now I'm getting into Facebook. I'm jumping on the Facebook bandwagon. I'm jumping into Facebook ads. So how am I going to use this email list? This is absolutely the place you want to start. So the first way you're going to use that list is you're going to upload it like this. Now, out of 5,000 people, you're not going to get all 5,000 that match, because they might use a different email address when they became a customer of you versus the email address they use on Facebook. So let's assume that you got 4,000. So now you have 4,000 people that you can target that know who you are and that like you, we'll assume, because you're a good business owner. So the number one way you can use this is, the easiest sale to get is somebody that's already your customer. It's a lot easier to make a sale with a current customer than it is to make with a new customer. So use that list to make new sales. So if you have a new promotion coming out, start your ads and target that list first, because they're the ones that are most likely to buy or come into your store to take advantage of whatever promotion you have going on. So that's the first way that you can use that. And when you're in your ad set, setting up the ad, then you'll have the option to select a custom audience, and you'll just have the option to select this audience. Active customers, February 15th, you select that audience and put it in. Second way is you can use it as a way to grow your Facebook page. So if you're just new to Facebook, you haven't even had a Facebook page up to this point, and so you want to grow your Facebook page. And so two ways you can use that list is, number one, send out an email to them and say, hey, just launched a new Facebook page. I found out about this brand new thing called Facebook. You kind of make a joke out of it like that. And say, come like my page to get updates, giveaways, promotions, to get the latest and greatest tips and tricks of what's going on in our business. Just ask them to come like your page through email. And then the second way to get them to like your page is you run an ad and say, hey, come like my page. So now you're hitting them an email, that's one touch point. You're hitting them with a Facebook ad, that's 2 touch points. A lot more likely to convert when there's those 2 touch points. So pretty powerful way. Third way that you can use this list, and to be honest, I'm probably not going to get through all of the ways you can use this list, but these are some great ways to start. So the third way to use this list is going to be to generate social proof. So whether we like it or not, whether we agree with it or not, we live in a fairly shallow society. We base a lot of our decisions based off, oh, 1,000 people like this post, so I'm going to like that post too. Or 500 people like this page, so I feel comfortable doing business with this business. Or 200 people like this post, so I'm going to look at the post at least. Maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't, but I'm at least going to look into it because 200 other people like it. It must be good. So whether we like it or not, we live in a shallow society. And again, because this list of 4,000 people are people that like you, they've done business with you, they know who you are. Then let's say you launch a brand new video, it's a promo video, and you send this video, you put an ad to this video, to this list of your customers. And even though you're not necessarily trying to get them to buy off of that, you're trying to get them to engage with that post. And so you launch a video, you say, hey, audience of 4,000 people that I've just uploaded, watch this video, tell us what you like. That does 2 things. Number one, it shows Facebook that audience is more likely to engage with your video. So when they do, then that's going to show Facebook, hey, this is a good video, people like this. So we're going to reward it. We're going to give this person more reach for the amount of money that they pay. We're going to treat this person really nice because people are liking this video. And that's what Facebook wants to do. They want to provide a positive experience. So if they have evidence that your video is providing a positive experience for its users, they're going to show it to more users. And then it's also going to create engagement. So there's going to be a big list of comments. So let's say out of 4,000, I don't know what's a realistic expectation. Let's say you get 200 likes on the post. So now you have this video that it's an awesome video, to begin with. But then you have this awesome video with 200 likes on it and 50 comments below it. And now it's an even better video because now you show it to a brand new person who's never heard of you. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, all of my friends, all of the people in town do business with this person. They must be pretty legit. And again, whether you agree with it or not, we live in a shallow society and that stuff works. We look at those numbers. All of us look at those numbers, whether we do it consciously or subconsciously. People are looking and paying attention to those numbers. And so you need to do what you can to spike those numbers. So that's the third way. Use your custom audience that you just uploaded of your customers to build social proof on a new ad before you take it to a cold audience. And now the last way to use it, well, the last way that we're going to talk about is what I mentioned earlier, is a lookalike audience. So again, we have this list of 4,000 people. Let me see if I have a whiteboard handy. I don't. That's okay. Actually, we're going to stop share. We're going to share screen. And we're going to share a whiteboard to demonstrate what a lookalike audience is. Let's see. Who can share? All panelists. Okay, cool. So can you see this? Can you see what I'm sharing right now? I believe you can. Okay. So we're here on the whiteboard, and we are going to draw something. So we just uploaded our list of 4,000 customers. That's a nice little circle. So we're going to put in here 4,000 customers. Okay, my little label's not even going to fit in my circle. But that's okay, we get the point. Okay, 4,000 customers. So these 4,000 customers, again, they're people that have paid you, and so you want more of those. If you could just have 8,000 of them, you're probably going to be doing pretty well. Because more customers is better, usually. In almost every case, more customers is better. So now, all of these 4,000 customers, they have certain characteristics, some of them in common, some of them not. But likely, they have stuff in common. For instance, I mean, just on a basic level, we do ads. We're having a lot of success with ads with somebody that does a women's fitness program. So as you can imagine, all of their customers are women. I haven't looked through their list to see if they have any men, but I know that when I do this next step that we're going to talk about, that 99.9% of the lookalike audience is female, because all of their customers are female. So on a basic level, also age, same thing in that case. 95% of the lookalike customers are between the ages of like 20 and 50, because that's the age of their customers. We just, whether we want to or not, whether we purposely do it or not, we end up attracting a certain type of customer, and they end up having similar characteristics, even down to the interests that they have and the behaviors that they have, the purchasing behaviors that they have, and the income levels that they have. All of these things Facebook is able to take into account because, again, we all tell Facebook too much information about ourselves. They can say, okay, these customers have these similar characteristics. Let's go and find more people like that. So when you tell Facebook, I want a bigger audience that's similar to this 4,000 people. So I'm going to make this circle about as big as I can. So now we have these 4,000 customers. We've told Facebook, oh, this is a terrible circle. I'm drawing it with my mouse. We've told Facebook, we want more customers that are just like these 4,000. And so now we have this. This here is what's called a look-alike audience. And you have options with a look-alike audience that we'll dive into next. You have 1% out to 10%. So it says, I want the people within the United States, I want the 1% of people in the United States that are the most similar to my 4,000 customers. So there's, I think the numbers are between 200 and 300 million on Facebook inside of the United States. You can only target this by country. Well, the first step, you can only target it by country, but then you can narrow it down to your city. So then 1% of that, 1% of 200 to 300 million is 2 to 3 million. And so you tell Facebook, I want the most similar 1% of people in the United States that are the most similar to my 4,000 customers. and they get you this big circle. And it's not an ugly circle like mine. It's quite a nice circle. And it's 2.1 million people. Every time it's 2.1 million, or every time it's very, very close to 2.1 million people. And these customers are going to be very similar to your 4,000 customers. You can see in my picture that these 4,000 customers are in the center, close to the center of this lookalike audience that you've created. So that's the idea behind a lookalike audience, and the concept is ingenious because then it takes all of the guessing. The targeting we did 2 weeks ago, if you're an established business that already has a list of customers, you don't have to do what we did 2 weeks ago. This is pretty much all you have to do. We have done this with a customer. Again, that fitness. They have a list of, I want to say 300 customers, which to be honest is a little bit small to do this with. The ideal number, the ideal minimum number is to do this with a list of 1,000 people. But anyway, so we did it with a base audience of 300 people. Let me just change this. They had 300 customers. Never mind, I won't change it. 300 customers. We created this lookalike and said we want more people like this because they're the most likely to convert. And Facebook found us 2.1 million people like that. And I think once we narrowed it down to women within the ages of 20 to 50, whatever we're doing, then it ended up being 1.9 million people, I think was the size. And so we started running ads to get leads. And it turns out that we are getting leads that started out at $4 and then went down to $3, $2. It was at $1.40. It was at $1.40, $1.50 for a while. Then we just made a couple more changes. We've gotten those leads down to just above $1, $1.08 per lead. And then further down the line, then those people are becoming customers as they become leads. We've just barely started the process of getting them to become customers. But we didn't have to we tested that against doing what we did 2 weeks ago, creating an audience of women between the ages of 20 and 50 that are interested in fitness. We did that. We tested against the lookalike. The lookalike far outperformed the audience of the women interested in fitness. So this is a gold mine if you have a customer list. So how do we do it? That's the theory behind it, but how do we do it? Let me share my screen again. All right. So here we are. We're going to do the lookalike audience off of this one that we just created. And you can do a lookalike audience off of any custom audience that you've created. So if you want to do, we talked about video view audiences last week. If you don't have customer list, then what you can do is identify people that have watched 95% of your video, of one of your videos, and then make a lookalike off of that. That's a good way to start. We did that with another client that doesn't have a customer list, and we cut our video view cost in half from, it was cost per 3-second view of 1 cent. Now it's a cost per 3-second view of half a cent, one half a penny. So you're going to click this button here, click the check mark. You're going to go to actions. You're going to create lookalike. You're going to select your location. Again, this has to be state. I'll show you how to narrow it down though. Sorry, this has to be country. I did the United States. This has to be country. And then audience size. This is the 1 to 10% that we talked about. And you look at this in a graph. Down on this left end here, these are going to be the people most closely related to your customers. This is the 1% of the United States that is most closely related to your customers. Out here, then this is, we go up to 21 million people. So this is people that, we're still at only 10% of the United States. So it's the 10% of people that are most relevant to your business, but not as closely related as the 1%. So I would start with the 1%. If you outgrow that 1%, so in that case, we ran through like 3,000-4,000 leads on this one audience. We keep looking at it every day. We might be getting to the close to the point where we need to expand out to this 2%. But until you've ran through, you've acquired customers and you've acquired leads on this 1%, I wouldn't go past that. So 1%, you hit create audience. thinks about it for a minute. Perfect. Now we have this lookalike US 1% affiliate solar survey. So we have that audience. Now, now you can use that in your ad set. I'll show you that when you're in the ad set level, creating your audience, then you have the option to do that. Or you can create an audience out of this customer. You can narrow down this audience. So let's say you're a local business. You're only local to the state of Utah. We'll pick Utah because there's a lot of people there. So you click on this button. No, you don't click on that button, sorry. So now if you want to narrow this audience down to Utah, you're going to hit Create Saved Audience. I would just start by calling it Lookalike Only in Utah. Okay. So this custom audiences section, that's where it is. So you're just gonna, you can start by searching lookalike. That's the one that we just created. See, 2.1 million people. This is in the entire United States. Now we are going to limit it to Utah. Now that narrowed it down to 380,000 people. So now these are the people inside of Utah that are most closely related to our customers. And we can see the difference if we took this off. We can see the total audience in Utah is 2.2 million. So we're narrowing it down from 2.2 million in Utah down to this 380,000 that are most similar to our customers. And there you go. And then if you want to, this is sometimes wise to say, you know, especially if your customers have been all over the place in the past. That's one of our clients, that is the case. They're kind of trying to shift where their audience is. And so we limited it. We said we only want, out of our lookalike audience, we only want people that are 24 to 50. So you can limit it down like that. So in that audience, 260,000. The majority of the people in that audience are already that age anyway. And that's what you do. Then you hit Create Audience. Now you have this lookalike only in Utah. So if you're a Utah business, that's what you would want to do. You'd want to limit it down to your geographical location. So that's it. This is, these are extremely powerful targeting strategies. So real quick recap. I know we're a minute over, but real quick recap. Step one, if you're a new business, you need to start with a saved audience. You're going to start with a saved audience. You're going to base that off of assumptions. You're going to base it off of things like income level, interests, behaviors. We're running ads, for instance, for a motorsports dealership where they have side-by-sides and snowmobiles and dirt bikes and all that sort of stuff. And so we base our audience off of their brand new business. We base our audience off of interests in dirt bikes, Polaris, Yamaha, all of the dirt bike companies and snowmobile companies. We put the interests in. We create an audience in their geographical market of like 60,000 people. That's the first place you have to start if it's a new audience. Second step is use videos. We've just launched videos to this customer. We're getting hundreds and hundreds and thousands of views on these videos. And we're going to create what's called a custom video view audience. You go in, you hit Create Custom Audience, Engagement, Video Views. Watch the recording from last week for a review on that one. And that's going to get us the customers that are actually paying attention. That out of that 60,000 people, who are the people that are actually paying attention and watching my videos? So we're going to keep putting ads in front of those people because those people are most apt to come in and buy because they're already paying attention to my videos, so they're more likely to come in and buy. It's a reasonable assumption. And then the third step, either once you have a customer list or if you're an established business and you already have a customer list, upload that customer list into Facebook and then target that audience with things to get social proof, to run new promotions to existing customers. And then in addition, make a lookalike audience to find the people that are most similar to your customers. And those are going to be your best bet of targeting. Let us know if you have questions. Reach out to us, ask us questions. These are the things we're doing. These are the things that are working. Creating these lookalike audiences, running ads to them is what works. Creating the saved audiences and the strategies that we taught 2 weeks ago and how to and how to make a saved audience if you don't have a customer list. That's what's working right now. So go and implement that in your business. Let us know how it turns out. Let us know if you have any questions. We will talk to you next week.